Hi, this is Dr. Nick Fanning with the Super Parent Syndrome, and I am your host. Today we're going to talk about spirituality, so sit back and relax. Let's get to it.
Parenting in the 21st century is ever evolving, and while you balance work, kids, and your sanity, it's easy to feel discouraged. Welcome to the Super Parent Syndrome with your host, Dr. Nick Fanning.
Spirituality. Now, I am not talking about religion because religion is controversial. Religion polarizes people, so we're not going to talk about that today. In fact, instead, we're going to talk about spirituality. So spirituality can mean a lot of different things to a lot of people. It can mean connection to a higher source. It could be connection to the universe or the world around you. And that's what we're going to be talking about today because everybody has that in some capacity. And if you don't feel connected to the whatever's around you, then you have a serious disconnect in general. Okay, so what I'm going to say here is that instead, I want you to focus on using spirituality to basically wash the shit off. Okay, so there goes my explicit tag. What I'm saying is that I like to use spirituality of, just basically washing off the grime, the mud, everything that's going on. Because we use your exercise, we use the food to build you up, to build power in you. But there are things in everyday life that stress you out, that kind of just dim your light a little bit. And we're going to use spirituality to undo that. Okay, so that's going to be in the form of prayer, meditation, thinking deep thought, reading a book and contemplating it. Okay, so we're going to be talking about finding that place in the universe, finding that place on earth, finding that place in the overall scheme of things, either connecting to your creator or a spiritual being or what have you. And so by doing that, by doing those things, we have certainty in where we are in this world. Now, my coach, we talk about the voice, so accessing the voice. And that's that little voice inside of you that kind of prompts you to do things or kind of warns you about certain things. And what are you doing to basically find that voice and be able to connect to it? And so for some, it's going to be God. Some it's going to be Jesus. Some it's going to be just yourself or your being in the world. But whatever it might be, how are you connecting? And that's what's important. So what I mean is that there's a lot of different ways to do this. Personally, I like meditation. Meditation, float tanks, those are how I just basically wipe off the grime that's being thrown at me. Because as you're even producing a podcast, there's haters out there, okay? As you're trying to spread a message, there's going to be haters. It doesn't matter. But what are you going to do to make sure that you have that certainty and that confidence and that clarity of what your purpose is? And in fact, for some, spirituality is actually all about finding purpose. What is the point of this whole life? Why am I on this planet? What am I going to be doing? What am I doing for it? What is the whole purpose of trying to improve myself? What am I working towards? Those are all questions that can be answered using your spirituality. Okay, so here's a couple things. If you're not meditating, I would actually ask that you consider it. If you have problems with the Eastern philosophies or background with it, then I would actually have you check out, you might be a Christian, so you might want to check out Thomas Keating with Christian Contemplation. That's a good source. There's a lot more out there too, but basically the whole premise is this: you're going to pray for 5 minutes and you're going to listen for 10. Okay, so as you're working with your creator, you might be just talk, and we never spend any time just listening, okay? And that's just getting in tune with what the heck is going on, okay? So that might be a little tough for some people. For some, people are just kind of thrown off by the whole thought of just sitting down for 5 minutes or for 3 minutes or for 15 minutes, just deep in thought or deep in worrying about your breathing and working with that. Now, for some of you, I got to tell you, the best of the best use this. And so they do things such as box breathing. So even our Navy SEALs have been taught in box breathing, which is breathing in for 4 seconds, holding for 4 seconds, exhaling for 4 seconds and holding for 4 seconds and repeating that over and over again to basically create space to kind of get that connection. So as we have been talking about improving your life by 1% every single day, we have talked about, hey, where are you at currently? GPS-wise, you need to know where you're at. 2, what are you doing for yourself to fill your cup? Okay, now what we're doing here with this meditation or spirituality is that, yes, we're getting our cup filled with exercise and nutrition, but we're also going to make sure that there's no cracks in the cup, okay? We're going to make sure that the water isn't muddy and that we're filling our cup with good stuff, okay, versus bad thoughts, versus fear, versus doubt. We want to keep that stuff out, and that's what I'm doing with meditation. That's what we're doing with contemplation and taking time to lower stress in a healthy manner. Now, see, here's the other alternative. Let's say you don't meditate. Let's say you don't pray. You all have stress. And instead of using these proactive things to defeat that stress, we're going to be using bad habits to bring down your stress. For some, they might use TV. So they're going to sit in front of a TV, watch sports, watch Netflix, and that's how they're going to lower stress. For some, it's going to be shopping. For some, it's going to be drinking or alcohol or even food. For some, it's going to be porn and masturbation. Okay? These are all things that do lower stress, but cause stress later on. Okay, either through guilt, through having to pay back credit cards, from your spending habits, from having to work out extra to work off those cheat meals, to even having to, it could be strain on your marriage or family because of porn or masturbation. So your options are this. We can either try doing some sort of stress relieving activity, such as meditation or prayer, or we can continue using our bad habits like smoking, drinking, anything like that, sex, spending, whatever it might be, to lower your stress. On one hand, you're going to have to recover from that. On the other hand, you don't have to recover from meditating. You don't have to recover from prayer. But those are all things that are going to wash the mud off of you and allow you to even handle more stress in the future. So if you start adopting a 3-minute meditation habit, okay, and if you need help, there's apps such as like Headspace or 10% Happier, or I've talked about this at length in a previous podcast, but there's a lot of new listeners. In fact, we're seeing over 1,000 downloads per episode now, okay, and we're growing. So here's the thing, welcome. But 2, as you work with meditation here, it's super important for you guys to take this serious and just try it every minute. And it could be as simple as this: the toilet challenge. When you go to the bathroom, you can either just put your headphones on and listen to one song. It can be that simple. One song, 2.5 minutes, 4.5 minutes, whatever it is, sitting on the toilet. And it may not be the best place to do deep breathing, but otherwise, if it is, just go ahead and do some deep breathing as you're listening to that music. Even if you solely did that, your life would improve. Take it up a notch and take away the music, it gets even better. So those are the things that I'm going to have you, that I'll have you consider for today. So here's your challenges. The white belt version. Okay, white belt version is the toilet challenge. And during a bathroom break at work or at home, you're going to take 3 minutes. You can set a timer on your phone or listen to a song and just sit there doing some deep breathing, trying to get rid of your stress and just kind of opening up your mind. The blue belt version. Okay, blue belt version is you're actually going to do 3 to 5 minutes, your choice, of sitting upright wherever you want, toilet or on a chair or somewhere else, and actually try to do either box breathing, which I described earlier, or just do a true meditation where you're just focusing on your breath. Okay, and then black belt version. Black belt version is that you're going to do a guided meditation, meaning that you can download an app. There's plenty on the podcast. There's plenty of auditory one. There's apps. There's all those things. And what you're going to try to do is a 10-minute meditation with a guided meditation, meaning this person's going to talk to you, kind of work you through it, and you're going to be sitting there doing that. Now, this is one of those things where you don't have to be a black belt. I just want you to get started. So it can be as simple as doing the blue belt or white belt version. Don't beat yourself on this one up. In fact, I got to tell you, I do 20-minute meditations right now, and I found out that that's not for me, okay? I have more power and I feel better when I do 2 10-minute sessions. So I do a 10-minute session in the morning before my kids wake up. So that way I feel fresh. I feel like I'm not even bogged down by emails or anything like that. I feel focused and ready. And then I do a 10-minute meditation during lunch. And that's basically just kind of setting that tone for the rest of the day. So that way I can serve and adjust people with a little bit more power and certainty. So those are the 3 versions, folks. Don't beat yourself up. This is a learning process. I just want something every single day where you're spending anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes at minimum to really start washing the mud off every single day. So that's your 1% challenge. This is Dr. Nick Fanning, and I will talk to you later.
Thanks for listening to another episode of The Super Parent Syndrome. Please be sure to visit peptalksforparents.com for more content and our free newsletter. And remember, you are not alone.